Hello everyone, my name is Richard Elliott. I am part of the NMAC Youth Initiative. I have a couple of people here with me today that just want to tell you about World AIDS Day and share their story.
Hi, my name is Robert Snover, aka Robin Swallows, drag queen entertainer, and I am HIV positive. I became HIV positive back in 2003. I was DJing a party and, curious to see if I had contracted the virus. And when they told me I was HIV positive, I was a little devastated. I did cry. I didn't know how to explain it to my parents. But I'm learning to deal with it because I'm on my medication regularly. And while I'm on this medication, I refuse to stop taking it. It's helped save my life. It's got me undetectable. It's not stopping me from living my life. Why is World AIDS Day important? It's important to me because I'm trying to learn more about this HIV virus and AIDS and what we can do to help fight and stop the epidemic. It's important to me to know all the information I can about HIV and AIDS. That's why World AIDS Day is important to me. The first time I was tested for HIV, I was scared, I was nervous. I kept telling myself when I got tested, it wasn't me, you tested wrong. I was worked up inside. I had a lot of fears. I had a lot of thoughts running through my head like, why me? How did I contract this virus? Who did I sleep with? Who did I deal with sexually during my active addiction of drug use? And it was a really, really scary to find out that I'm HIV positive. But as years went by, I learned to deal with it. I learned to live with it. And it doesn't bother me to talk about my HIV status and letting people around the world know that living with HIV is not a death sentence anymore. We can live full lives as long as we take our medicine every day and make sure we get daily checkups every 3 months. To the future generation, it is wise for you to get tested. Please protect yourself, wear condoms, dental dams. Please read up on the information and please get tested.
Hi, my name is Rowan. I'm agender and I'm from New Jersey. And World AIDS Day is important because everyone needs to know more about it and what protections are and aren't available and who is at risk, which is basically anybody, and that you should get yourself tested regularly as long as you're sexually active. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is that new HIV diagnosis among transgender people is 3 times the national average for all other people. And one of the things that might contribute to that is that a lot of us do this thing called reactive shielding, and we try to protect ourselves from basically having to misgender ourselves or from really terrible treatment by doctors, because a large number of doctors are entirely uninformed, and a lot of trans people don't always feel 100% safe in LGB spaces because there's still a lot of gatekeeping in community. So a lot of us don't get checked as often as we should. Some advice I'd give to the next generation is to look up things like clean needle programs and needle exchange programs, because things like testosterone require needles, and if you can't afford clean needles, there are services available for that. There's also a lot of places you can get tested for free, and also look into things like PrEP and PEP, because regardless of who you are, if you have multiple partners at all, or are open relationship, or are sexually active in any way, it's something you should be doing. You should look into getting tested and look into what protections you can take for yourself.
Hi, I'm Albert Smith, and I'm from Asbury Park, New Jersey. World AIDS Day to me is all about striking up the conversation, getting people talking about HIV and how we can prevent it. Today is a day for us to remember people from our past, as well as people who are still living and the people who are helping in this fight on the day-to-day basis to help finally one day rid us of HIV. Knowing your status is a really key part in negotiating the kind of sex you would love to be having and with who you'd like to be having sex. Knowing your status gives you the ability to not only strike up the conversation by saying, hey, I just went and got tested, it also helps you to protect yourself in future endeavors. It helps you get into care if you find out that you're HIV positive. It's really integral to just knowing who you are as a human being and being able to do the best by yourself and your health and your partners. So my most recent time getting tested was probably around the time me and my partner started dating. And I went in to get a test, and I got a full panel of tests because we were going into a committed relationship and we wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page. So he went to his local testing center to get tested, and I went to my testing center just to make sure everything was on the up and up. I always am nervous when I get tested. It's just, I have anxiety. It's a stressful situation, but I knew that I was making a really good decision by myself, but I was also making a good decision for him. So that's kind of what helped me get through it. And at the end of the day, it was totally worth it. I came back negative, and I had a lovely conversation with the person that was working there about different ways to protect myself, and it wound up being a good experience. The best advice that I could give is, let's start talking about sex. Talk about the things that get you turned on. Talk about getting tested. Talk about your sexual health. Communication is the first step we can take to being healthy sexuals.
My name is Eric Worthrich from Neptune, New Jersey. One of the things that happened over this past year was the huge campaign, undetectable equals untransmittable. For the first time, language was finally starting to be used where an HIV positive partner, if they're on medications, if their viral load is undetectable, they cannot transmit the virus to another partner. In the past 3 months now, the CDC is finally acknowledging that if you are undetectable, if you are in care, you can't transmit that to your partner. So why is testing and knowing your status important? It's crucial. I think it's important that everyone sexually active gets tested at least twice a year. So that way, if something happens and they do contract the virus, we can catch it sooner. We can catch it before it started to have a true impact on their body. When someone enters care, now if someone is positive, only by getting tested can they learn that. And once they know this, they can start to take the steps needed to protect their health and their partners. Whether you be positive, negative, it doesn't matter. This is a fight for all of us. So my message to you all on this World AIDS Day, we are in this together and we are stronger together.